Hey guys, welcome to Waypoint X. My name is Judd, and for today's video we're going to be installing the JK Hinged Carrier Accessories High Lift and Rotopax mount. Man, that's a mouthful, so let's go ahead and get started. Well, welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Judd once again, and welcome to Waypoint X. We really do appreciate you tuning in today. So we have a Teraflex tire carrier on the Jeep right now, and we've had our little makeshift mount that we made for our CB antenna a long time ago. But we are going to go ahead and upgrade to that the high lift jack mount, and it'll also hold our CB antenna and also some rotopax if we want to in the future. It's been a great tire carrier. I definitely recommend the Teraflex tire carrier if you're in the market for one. It's been really great for us, and so we're just going to add on to it and make it a little bit better. And get the 19mm bolts off and take this contraption off that we have right here. Now we're going to save this for another video, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for some notifications, because we are going to do a video on how we set up this whole contraption on the back of our Jeep in an upcoming video. So let's go ahead and take these 19mm bolts off and remove this. So we've gotten these loosened, they're just barely on there. We're going to go ahead and disconnect the two connectors in the back holding these lights together, and then all of this should come off. Now that we've gotten the connectors off, we're going to go ahead and loosen these up and take it off. So next that we have already taken our little contraption off, we've got these two studs that kind of push it away that do come with the tire carrier. So we're going to go ahead and take those off now. Or a 19mm. Be careful when you do that. Now we're going to go ahead and sit this back on. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt because this thing's heavy. Alright, now that we have the tire off, you can see that we use one of our old wheel spacers to be able to accommodate, because we do not have that 5th bead lock yet. Hopefully very soon. But we're going to go ahead and remove our old CB antenna mount and go ahead and prepare for the new one. Alright guys, so this next step you won't be having to do. So we're going to go ahead and do this step really quickly. It's just going to be removing our old CB antenna mount. We're going to go ahead and pull this plug, since we're going to be using that hole next to mount the mount. And now we're going to go ahead and loosen this outside bolt and then fully take off this one. And you're going to be using a 12mm. Alright, now that that's removed, let's go ahead and get our accessory mount. Mount here, this is where the high lift will go. We've got our CB antenna mount here, and then we'll have to buy a new mount that goes off of the high lift jack to mount our rotopax, or you can actually buy the mount that goes straight from the bracket to a rotopax system. Now we've gone ahead and installed these, used the instructions to tell you how these are set. This one does have a slot so you can adjust it for your high lift jack, and they'll tell you the different torque specs. I think this is up to 65 foot-pounds of torque, and this one you do not torque, you just get nice and tight. So there is a washer on either side. We've gone ahead and done that. Now we're going to go ahead and place it on the Jeep. Now for this hole that we have taken out, there is a nice aluminum spacer, and we've got a washer. Now this is going to have to go in on a certain order, because this spacer is going to take up that space that is now there. And then we've got the different hardware to go ahead and place in. So we're going to go ahead and take our bolt and our washer, feed it through this second hole, and then we'll go ahead and take our spacer and slide it on like so. So you have your bolt, washer, and then spacer. And then we're going to go ahead and thread it into the second hole where we remove that bolt. Alright, so we've gone ahead and threaded that bolt in. It's kind of snug, but we're going to go ahead and take our Allen bolt and thread it into this top one so we can get everything aligned. So when you're placing these bolts in, you just want to put all of them in at first. Just get a couple of thread turns into the actual tire carrier, and then you're going to want to tighten them down once you have all of them in, because trying to line it up after you've tightened one of them down is just not going to work. So now we're going to take a 13 millimeter and go ahead and tighten that bolt that we went ahead and placed in, and get that nice and snug, and then tighten up the rest of them. Now that we've gotten that one tight, let's go ahead before we tighten the rest of them and take a 12 millimeter and go ahead and tighten the one that we loosened. Now you don't want these too tight. We've gone ahead and tightened up the outermost bolt with a 13 millimeter and the innermost bolt with a 12 millimeter. We just got those nice and snug. No reason to really yank and torque down on those too much. So now we're going to go ahead and take our 5/16 Allen and go ahead and tighten up these last remaining 3 bolts. Now when we're reinstalling this, we're not going to go ahead and put the actual antenna part up on there since it won't go out of our garage anymore. We're going to go ahead and just tighten this up, and we're actually using a spring now. Since this is lifting up our CB antenna, we actually probably need to go with a smaller one. We're just going to leave the spring on there, and then we can probably need to get a quick detachment system on here. But this is just going to be able to get us going, and I can always throw the CB antenna on there last minute. So that's nice and tight. Give a nice spin, and we'll go ahead and put our CB antenna on there when we're out there on the trail. So now for the real fun part, we've got to put the 37-inch tire back on the mount and try to get it on there the first time and not trying to struggle with it. So this is time to put on your big boy pants and throw it up there, or big girl pants. This is going to be fun. Lift with your legs, kids. Lift with your legs. So we got our one lug nut on there. Spin that tight. Now we're going to take our 2 studs and put them on the bottom. Don't hate, guys. We're going to be getting that 5th bead lock soon enough. Now we're going to go ahead and take our 19, go ahead and tighten these up. You definitely don't have to get these as tight as you would on your actual tires that are going down the road, but you obviously don't want it to fall off. So I like mine a little snug. Go ahead and put our contraption on. It is not the easiest thing to take off, but it's definitely not the hardest, but it's definitely not the easiest to put back on either. So we got our 2 lines. We just want to barely start these. So now that's that barely started, we're going to go ahead and rewire all of our contraption. Go ahead and feed these back through here. And we will be doing a video on how we did all this at a later time. We're going to go ahead and put our contraption back on there, and we're going to go ahead and tighten this back up with the 19 millimeter bolts. So we got our new high lift jack, nice black and red color. This is the 48-inch high lift jack. Now these do have a bunch of great uses. Now you can use them as a secondary winch just in case. You can lift up your car with them if need be, but we wanted to go ahead and mount one just because these are grateful tools if you know how to use them and when they're appropriate. So we're going to go ahead and mount it on the outside of our Jeep. So we're going to go ahead and take it. We've already kind of lined up where we want the high lift to be. So let's go ahead and place it on. There we go. So it's nice and snug on there. We're going to take 2 washers. Put one there. And one there. Now in the future we're probably going to get a locking mechanism so people that don't have a ratchet can come up there and take it. And we're probably going to put a nice boot on the bottom of it to kind of keep all these mechanisms from rusting and getting dirt and grime in there, because we want this to work when it's needed. So we've got these 2 nylon lock washers, and we're going to go ahead and put those on and tighten them up. And tighten these 2 nylon lock washers up with a 19. Luckily everything is a 19, so 19 is a good socket to have on your Jeep. As you probably can tell, we're going to go ahead and need to get another nylon lock washer because this one's kind of messed up, but that's no big deal. So here's our final product. It looks great on the Jeep. I think it adds a lot of character. But what we're going to be doing is be adding a boot to the bottom of it to kind of keep all the pins greased and out of the weather. We're going to be adding a locking system to this, so no passerby might want to grab and take it off. Also, it did raise our antenna up just a little bit. Now we can't go in and out of the garage anymore, so this antenna is going to have to come off until we get a shorter one, or we'll just get a quick disconnect and add it when we hit the trail. We did add a spring for going off the trail, so when it does hit those limbs, it does just kind of bounce around and doesn't actually break our antenna. Now we are going to be adding some rotopax to this. So there are many rotopax out there. There's water, fuel, dry storage, and a first aid one. Don't think there's any other ones, but we want you to leave a comment below on what you think we should place on here. So we haven't decided which ones we want yet, but maybe y'all's opinions will help us decide. So leave a comment below. If you like this install video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for some notifications, and leave us a like. We really do appreciate it. Leave us a comment about any questions you may have on this install or about any other parts of our Jeep that you saw today. We really do appreciate all your guys' support, and we hope you have a great day.